one.
Good morning, Becky.
Good morning, Bonnie.
How
Hi,
are you?
Pat. Hi, Kirsten.
Good
Hi,
morning.
everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
How are you today?
I'm really good today. I think I've had enough of this heat, though. I'm ready for a little cooler weather, but that's
Yeah.
okay. It is summertime.
I missed seeing you last week, so
miss
I'm glad
seeing
to be
you.
back this week.
Good.
But it's zucchini week, right? That's what I understand. We're doing the zucchini everything.
Yeah, we are.
Zucchini everything.
This one came, I was looking, last week I had a huge zucchini, and I used it all up, and I thought, oh, I can get more somewhere. And of course, nobody had zucchini. So my neighbor ended up bringing this one over last night. Look at that thing. That's huge.
Huge.
So I'm going to show you how to use these big things because they're usually really full of seeds, but I'll show you how we can use this, and it'll be really good, I promise.
Good. Is there a
Yeah.
reason you can't get zucchinis now?
Oh, I think the weather's been so hot and dry. Some people's zucchinis just aren't growing. They're just stuck to the ground, I guess, waiting for a rain, I think.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So what are we going to start with? A big glass of water. Stay hydrated.
I put zucchini in it.
Did you really? Zucchini in
Yeah.
your water?
Yeah, I did. But
And-
zucchini doesn't taste like much. So that does not change the flavor of my water. So I think what I'll add to my water is some lemons. Who doesn't like lemons, right?
So we
So
put
this,
zucchini in there just for fun then, right? So it
well,
looks-
a little bit about zucchini. Zucchini sort of takes on whatever you put in with it. So
Okay.
if I put lemons, the zucchini's going to take less lemons. If I put cinnamon, it's going to change the flavor. So zucchinis are sort of just there.
okay.
They are a good source of fiber, and they're very good for weight loss. They're full of water. They have very few calories. For one zucchini, you get like 17 calories. So you can just fill up on zucchini. And because it's fiber, you feel fuller longer. So that's what zucchini is all about.
I think I'm going to need to eat zucchinis for the rest of the week.
There we go. Now that's good water with lemon in it. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Remember to drink that. The hot weather, we need to drink our water.
Bar water, yeah.
Okay, well today we're going to do everything zucchini. The first thing we're going to do is a mock apple pie, a zucchini mock apple pie. Has anybody ever had one?
Not even.
I haven't.
It is actually made from zucchini, but it tastes like apple pie. Isn't that fun?
Is this spice something that's the zucchini's going to take on?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited.
Okay.
Let's see what you're going to do.
Okay, the second thing we're going to do is zucchini bites. And they're little zucchini rounds, and you make little pizzas out of them. And
Okay.
actually, they're very good because I ate one a little earlier, and they were really good. And then the last thing we're going to do is zucchini lasagna. So everything zucchini. I do have a little bit of meat. I have pepperoni on my zucchini bites, and I've got hamburger in my lasagna. But you could go completely meatless with these.
Right,
So
you
it's
could
up
leave-
to you.
Okay.
Okay. First thing, you've seen the zucchini noodles out there. People that are trying to watch their weight and not eat pasta, they have zucchini noodles. Well, I want to show you the little apparatus I found. It looks like a pencil sharpener. And all you do is take your zucchini and you just spin it around. Look at this. And it comes out like noodles.
Wow.
And of course, all you do with this is you just put it in you can put it in a skillet with a little butter, or you can just steam it with a little water, or you can eat it raw.
Well,
So
look
look
at
at this.
Oh,
Look, it's like little noodles. Isn't that neat?
Where'd you get that little cutter thing at?
where'd you get?
I think I bought this at the cooking store, but I think any place that sells those TV gadgets has these.
Okay,
Like
because
Kroger's, you should be able to find this at Kroger's or Walmart or any place like that. And they do have a thick and a thin cut. So just so you know, that's a good way to use zucchini.
your zucchini looks like a pencil now.
It does. Unless it leaves all the seeds in the middle. But it's very good. You can put
It
pasta sauce
all
on
this-
it. Huh?
That's true. It does leave all the seeds in the middle.
Yep. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is our mock apple pie. Okay, this has a crumbled top. So we're going to start with our oats in a crumbled top. I usually put oats. I have a half a cup of brown sugar. I've got a fourth of a cup of flour. And I've got some spices. I have, I think, a half a teaspoon. I have a fourth of a teaspoon of cinnamon and eighth a teaspoon of nutmeg. So I'm going to put that in there. Now that does not say apple pie.
That's apple pie spice right there.
Okay, with that, I'm just going to mix it all up. And then to this, once it's all mixed up, I'm going to add some cold butter. Now the recipe says to cut it in. You can put it in the food processor and run it and cut it in. You can take a pastry knife and cut it in. You can cut it in with a fork. But this is what I do. I just cut my butter into little pieces, like whole butter, and then I just work it with my hands. I just crumble it up with my hands and just sort of incorporate that butter through the sugar and the flour. So it just becomes a sort of coarse, just sort of bring it all together.
Crumbly for the top, huh?
Crumbly for the top. And that butter melts over your sugar and flour and your oats. So it doesn't really need to be all incorporated. When I put it on my pie shell, I usually make sure the butter is throughout so it melts evenly. Okay. So I've got that. The next thing you'll
probably how all the professional chefs do it anyway.
with their hands. Yeah.
Yes, with their hands.
So I'll set that aside. In a medium kettle, I'm actually going to add 4 cups of cut up zucchini. And what I'm going to show you with this big one, this is a good way to use these big zucchinis. Let me cut him up here because he's too big to work this way. And he is a tough one. Ugh. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to peel him. You want to peel your zucchini. So just peel his skin off, and I'm just using the potato peeler. He's tough. He must have been out there in the sun for a while.
It looks pretty good on the inside.
Yeah, he's a nice zucchini. He's got a lot of seeds. I don't know if you can see all those seeds. And that's what you don't want in this. You don't want seeds. Okay, I would peel him all the way around, but we're just going to do half so I can show you how to do it. Okay, you peel him all the way around, and then I'm going to cut him in half. Oh man, he's tough. Oh. I'm going to cut him in half, and then see all those seeds down the center? You see all those seeds? You don't want those in your mock apple pie. So I'm just going to take a spoon, and I'm just going to spoon those seeds out. But this is a good way to use up those big zucchinis if you've got them in the garden.
Now,
You can save those.
Always
Huh?
take this out?
Do I always?
Yeah, for
If you're
everything
going-
that makes zucchini, do you always take the seeds out?
If you've got one with this many seeds, I don't want to eat all those seeds.
Okay.
I would take it out. Now the smaller ones, I don't. Because the smaller ones just don't have as many seeds. But look at the seeds that come out of that. I don't want to eat them. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to chop him up. Like I say, he is a hard one. Woo. So you want to sort of chop up the zucchini. And it's going to look like apples when you're done. And that's the idea for the mock apple pie. Now, doesn't that look like a bunch of green apples?
Yes, it does.
Okay, I'm going to add that to my 4 cups. Make it 4 cups. Okay, there's a seed I don't want. Get out of there. I've got four cups of cut up zucchini, so I'm going to add that to a medium kettle. And then to that, I'm going to add a third of a cup of lemon juice. That's sort of your liquid. So there's a fourth of a cup of lemon juice. I'm going to add a fourth of a cup of just white sugar. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of just regular all-purpose flour. And that's just sort of your thickening is what the flour does. And then I'm going to put this on the stove. I'm going to let this cook. I'm going to keep stirring it. And I'm going to let it cook and not let it stick. But you want that flour and sugar and lemon juice to sort of thicken. And it also will make your zucchini a little softer. You want it tender. See, I cooked it, maybe 5 minutes or so. I cooked it, and it all came together. It's starting to look like apple pie is what it was starting to look like. So when it all comes together, you add a pinch of salt, which I'm not going to do that because I need to cook these. You add a pinch of salt, and then you add some more spices that smell like apple pie. A half a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/8 of nutmeg, and 1/8 of allspice. And when that's all cooked up, it'll look like apple pie filling. And then you just take and you dump it into your pie shell. I am going to take this one over to my neighbor that gave me the zucchini, so I'm going to put it in a disposable pie dish. Now you could put it in a pie crust if you wanted to, but I'm not going to today. I'm just going to put it in the pie dish.
Gotcha.
And so you bake it for 25 minutes. It becomes bubbly and golden brown, and this is what you get.
So you got to put it in, put that in the glass dish, throw all the crumblies on top.
Yep.
Okay.
So you put your your filling in the bottom, crumbs on top. Like I said, I sort of distribute my butter over, bake it for 25 minutes, and it'll be bubbly. And when it comes out, it looks like apple pie.
Looks yummy.
Yeah. I'll let you know in just a minute.
Like apple, it's almost like apple crisp almost.
Yeah. It's like an apple crisp. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an easy way to use up your zucchini, and just give it to your neighbor if you don't want it. You know, like my neighbor gave me those zucchinis. That's what I'm going to give her back. And it was Nancy that gave me this.
You want to be my neighbor?
You want to be my neighbor?
Be my neighbor.
That's what I'm thinking. I need to be Becky's neighbor. I'll be eating good.
Yeah. And I like starting with dessert too. That's always a plus.
That's always a plus. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is our zucchini pizza bites.
And
So,
I had those not too long ago, and they are very delicious.
They are very delicious. They are. So I had a zucchini, and it was a little bigger than the normal, but not as big as that other one. And I cut it in about 1/4 of an inch. And then what I'm going to do is sort of scrape out, make sure you keep a bottom to it. Make sure your bottom stays there. But just sort of scrape out a little pocket, because you're going to put pizza sauce in there. So scrape out a little pocket. Don't go all the way through. One of them I went all the way through, and I had to put it back in there. I just put it back in.
Plug the hole.
I lined my cooking sheet with foil, and I sprayed it with a cooking spray just so they don't stick. Okay, they all have just a little pocket in them. So in this pocket, I'm going to put just a little pizza sauce. Just a jar of pizza sauce. If you have a homemade pizza sauce, that's fine too. So let's put that in there. And I'll do a few, and then I'll show you what they look like. So just a little pizza sauce to fill up that little pocket. Kristen, where did you have your pizza bites at?
Oh, that was me, Heather.
Heather, where'd you have your pizza bites at?
My neighbor brought them over.
Right. Again,
she
All
was telling me about it, and I was like, those really sound good because I love zucchini. And we give her a little vegetable basket because we go to the Amish auction, and we give her a vegetable basket, and she used one of the zucchinis that we give her and brought over those pizza bites.
Nice. Well, I'm just putting on a pinch of mozzarella cheese, and you can use any cheese you want. Mozzarella is just what I had. So I'm going to put that on top of all my little pizza bites. And then on top of that, I'm going to put, I went to Kroger's and got some mini pepperonis. Now, you could put whatever you want on here. You could put sausage. You can put mushrooms and make them completely vegetarian. But I'm going to put little pepperonis.
They're like little personal pizzas.
Yeah, they are. But a lot healthier because you're missing the bread on the bottom. A little healthier.
What if I can convince my grandson that that's not really a zucchini under there?
I don't know. You have to make it fun somehow.
Take the green off.
Yeah.
Take the green off.
That's true.
The
Good
thing
idea.
is, it sort of holds the zucchini together when you do that. So I'll put these in the oven at 400 degrees. And by the way, my mock apple pie, I don't know if I told you or not, it goes in 400 degree oven too. Everything was 400 degrees today. The mock apple pie took about 25 minutes in a 400 degree oven. These in a 400 degree oven takes about 8 to 10 minutes. And this is them before they go in the oven. And then these are the ones I did this morning.
Ooh.
And I put a little bit of fresh basil on top.
Oh, aren't you cute?
I had 5, but I ate one.
They really are very good. Yeah.
They are very good.
Really good.
And you could really get crazy with that and do a lot of different things, you know. So maybe your grandson, if you give him a lot of different fillings and toppings, he would get excited about helping you make them.
Yeah, if I could get him past the word zucchini, that's it, just that word.
Has he ever
Maybe have
eaten
them haul
zucchini?
it out already and then have him top them.
Yeah, you'd have to cook them, maybe. Anything that has zucchini in it, probably not going to eat.
You have to get him interested in it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is zucchini lasagna. I got a little story to tell. I always do, don't I?
That's good. I'm ready.
I decided I was going to do this dish that I found on Pinterest. You know how that is. It looks so good, looks so easy. And it was zucchini roll-ups. And you actually take your zucchini and you cut them thin, like I've done here. Cut them thin.
Right.
And I actually have like I say, a little mandolin that I cut them with, but you could cut these with a vegetable peeler. But you take and you put your stuff in the center and you roll them up, and then you put them in your baking dish and you put sauce and cheese on top and bake them. These things do not roll easy. I had a mess. This is what I have left. This is a bag of mistakes.
Oh my God.
They're full of zucchini mistakes. This is going to become zucchini bread.
Oh my God.
So I decided nobody in their right mind needs to do that. I can't say it was very good when it was done, but no one needs to do that. So today we're making lasagna, much easier.
I'm glad you made all those mistakes for us ahead of time.
Yeah.
So we have to. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. We would have been here till tomorrow getting that together because it takes forever to roll them up and it was crazy. So anyway, today we're going to do lasagna, which is basically the same thing except you lay it out and cut it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to spray my dish with a baking spray just so it all doesn't stick. Okay, in the bottom of this, I'm going to put a little bit of just pasta sauce. I got tomato basil pasta sauce, but you can do whatever you want. It calls for marinara, which is doesn't have anything in it but tomato. But I like this one, and I had it on hand. So I'm just going to put a couple spoonfuls in the bottom. And this just sort of helps those zucchinis cook from the bottom. So let me just spread that around my pan. So I just have pasta sauce in the bottom. Okay, on top of this, I'm going to lay my zucchini noodles, which, like I said, I just cut them thin. Now I have laid them on paper towels because zucchini does have a lot of water. And it does make this a little wet if you don't try to get some of the water out.
Oh,
so I'm just going to lay my zucchini. Go ahead.
Good tip. I said that's a good tip because I would not have thought of doing that.
Yeah. So I'm just going to lay my zucchini noodles in the bottom of my dish. See, this is what I've got, just the bottom. And I forgot the other step. And we got to make the cheese part that goes on top. So let's do that, and then I'll finish this up. So what goes in my cheese, I have 2 eggs. I have 3/4 of a cup of Parmesan cheese. And I have a carton of ricotta. Now, ricotta, you can do whole, this is called whole milk. You can do low fat. You can do half fat. But it takes a 16 ounce, but all they have is 15 ounce, so whatever. Whatever. Now, last week, I didn't have ricotta when I made the crazy ones. And I took cottage cheese and I just meshed it all up and did the same thing with cottage cheese. So to this, I'm going to add my 2 eggs. And then I'm going to add my Parmesan cheese. And I'm just going to stir that all up together.
That looks good already.
It just makes a nice filling.
So I know what you're going to have for lunch today then.
My husband's sort of like Bonnie's grandson. Zucchini. So, whatever.
But you're going to right? You're going to convince him how good it is.
I am. I'm going to get him to eat it. Okay, to this we'll add a little salt and pepper. Let's do a little salt and pepper to it. And then it looks so bland. I added a little dried basil. And I add a little bit of oregano. Just for a little zing in there. So let me stir that all up. And I forgot, on top of my zucchini noodles, I'm going to put a pinch of garlic powder. Now you can leave this out if you don't want the garlic. So we're ready here. I've got a little bit of garlic powder, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on top of my zucchinis. That's just for flavor. On top of this, I'm going to add my my cheese mixture. So I'm just going to spread it out, just like you're making zucchini. Same idea. Now,
like
when I make, go ahead.
No, just like you're making regular lasagna with the regular
Yeah, just like regular lasagna.
zucchini and
you want to make sure that cheese gets all over that.
Mm.
And then the recipe doesn't call for any meat, but I wanted a little bit of ground beef in there. I thought maybe that would entice my husband to eat it. So I just browned some ground beef, and I'll just layer that.
Well, then you need to leave the garlic out.
Yeah.
If you're enticing him,
I will tell him. Okay, on top of that, I'm going to put a little bit of mozzarella cheese. I'm just going to sprinkle it on top. Sprinkle that. And then I'm going to just start layering it. I'm going to do my pasta sauce again. So just a couple spoonfuls. It says a cup, but it takes a little more when you're doing lasagna than those roll-up things. And it's just like, say, just like lasagna. You just layer it up. So on top of that, I'm going to put my noodles. And I laid them in opposite directions when I did the layers. That matters. So I put my noodles, my
They're
zucchini. I'm calling them noodles, but they're actually zucchini.
Perfect size.
They are the perfect size. I was pretty impressed.
Did you do that on purpose?
No, just worked out that way. Okay, and of course on top of this, I'm going to do again, I'm going to do my cheese layer. Oh, yum. I can't wait for lunch.
Hmm. Now, are those zucchinis easier to work with than the noodles or no?
When I do my regular lasagna, I never cook my noodles, never.
Okay.
What I do is I add a little water to my pasta sauce when I'm making my layers, and it just soaks up that extra water and it cooks the noodles while you're cooking the pasta. I never cook my noodles. I do the same thing as I do here, except I do not cook my noodles. I just sort of break them to make them fit. Okay, on top of this, same thing again. I'll do a little hamburger. And we'll do a little cheese.
Just like you were saying earlier, it's amazing what you can do with zucchini. It's so versatile.
It is. It really is. Okay. I'll probably put one more layer of everything on here, but you got the main idea. Okay.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. So we pop that in and out.
In the magic oven. Put it in the magic oven.
In the magic oven. That always amazes Bonnie. You want to put it in a 400-degree oven for approximately 30 minutes. Okay.
Do you need to cover it or no? Or cover it for a little bit, then cook it without it being covered for a little bit?
No, you don't. Because it's so wet, you want that moisture to absorb. So just stick it in as is, and this is what it comes out looking like.
Wow.
Oh,
Now, it is a little watery because it's zucchini and not noodles, but it's okay. I mean, it looks real good. So let's get this plated up. And like I say, coming out of the oven might be a little better, but it's okay. There's the zucchini, the lasagna. Isn't that beautiful?
It's gorgeous.
You could add a salad if you wanted to, or whatever you wanted.
Zucchini bites.
Zucchini bites I have here. Oh, and look here.
Hey,
I'm jealous.
seriously.
That is so good. So here's lunch.
Nice. Very nice. All that does not look like zucchini.
You just have to convince your son and my husband.
I would start with the apple pie zucchini. That would be where I would start.
And just don't tell him.
Convince him with the dessert.
Yeah, just don't tell him that it's zucchini and he'll never know.
That's right. Okay, I'm going to dish up the apple pie, the apple crisp.
I normally trick my kids and have them try stuff. And then after they eat it and they're like, oh, I liked it. And I'm like, guess what was in it? And they're like, what? Really? And then they'll eat it.
Hey, I've heard other people doing that. So to my mock apple pie, I'm going to add a dollop of whipped cream. And look at that.
That mock whipped cream?
No. No, it isn't. But let me taste this and tell you if it tastes like apple pie.
Does it smell like apple pie?
Oh.
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 Reaction is all we need right there.
It does taste like apple pie. That's delicious. You can taste the nutmeg and everything in it. Oh, it's delicious.
It looks
So
great.
this is a keeper. Those are keepers.
Those are keepers.
So,
all keepers.
they're all keepers. They're all delicious.
And all
flavor-
very, very healthy. All of it's very healthy.
Yep.
Well,
That's
maybe,
what we're working on.
yeah.
Keeps us healthy and it keeps us independent because we get a chance to cook and experiment a little. And it also makes us productive because we have all this good food now.
And you took all that work doing it. So that is productive.
Yep. So it
Healthy.
keeps us, healthy, independent, and productive.
Good job. It does. And that's what we're trying to do. Every week is something good. I love it every single week.
Yep. And next week we're going to do, it's going to be a pizza week. I found a cast iron pizza. So
Oh.
I think that'll be good. And then I've got a white pizza that has vegetables on top that ought to be really good too.
Are we having pizza dessert?
I don't know what we're doing for dessert yet. We'll see. We'll see
Okay.
what we're doing for dessert.
I'm holding you to that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. What about you guys? Do you think this looked good, everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can
My
you do
stomach's
the
growling.
pie with pie crust, do you think?
You could, yeah. I don't see why you couldn't. I think I would probably pre-cook my pie crust a little because the zucchini's a little wetter than the apples. So I would just cook my, bake it first a little bit and then put your pie filling or your zucchini filling in it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Pat, you do that and let me know.
Yeah. Deliver that.
Invite me
Well-
over. No.
Well, thank you again this week. It looks wonderful. It's always fun to do it with you every week, to cook with
I
Becky.
agree.
I agree. Yes. So thank you. Have a good week. I will
Thanks.
see you soon, though.
Thanks,
Monday.
Becky.
Okay, everyone have a good week and stay safe out there. Wear your mask, stay safe.
All right. You too. Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye.